عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أسعد الله أوقاتكم بكل خير أيها الأحبة أينما كنتم. أهلا وسهلا بكم في حلقة جديدة من برنامج درس على الهواء، وفي درس جديد أيضا من دروس مادة اللغة الإنجليزية لطلاب الصف الحادي عشر. So today inshallah we are going to continue unit number 2 from theme number 2, theme titled with source of inspiration. All right, so inshallah at the end of this lesson, inshallah you'll review the usage of past simple and present perfect. Also you'll learn about an Omani historic voyage, and you will differentiate between adjectives ending with ed and ing. As I told you, we'll cover unit number 2, the grammatical, and then we'll move to unit number 3, which is a jewel of a ship. So let's start with past simple and present perfect and what is the difference between them. So let me make it easy for you. So past simple we have two types of verbs here: regular verbs and irregular verbs. All right, so with regular verbs, what is the form? The verb plus ed. And in the irregular verb the form will be different, so we'll write here different form, and this is, you should memorize it by yourself. All right, so this is the form of past simple. What about present perfect? Also with the present perfect we use the verb to have, the verb to have, we use the verb, sorry for the verb to have. All right, and as you know, with I, you, we, they, we use have, and with he, she, it, we use what? Bravo, has, plus the verb, and the verb should be in a past participle, in past participle. So again, the same. If the verb is regular, you will add only ed here. If it is irregular, you will write the memorized form. All right, so this is a simple and clear introduction about the past simple and the present perfect. So here, as my colleague mentioned last class about the relation between past simple and present perfect, so we'll go back to it later on, inshallah. What is the difference between past simple and present perfect? So as you know here, this is the form, subject plus verb, and we add ed to it. About the present perfect, we have the subject, we have or has, depends on the pronoun, and if we have the regular verb, we add ed, and if not, the memorized one. So why we use past simple? We use past simple to express finished times. We use past simple to express finished time. And we have this example here. We lived in Japan from 1995 to 1998. So خلاص, they are no longer there. They moved to another place. But about the present perfect, describe unfinished time. Started in the past, but still the result is still in the present. So, for example, I've worked as a teacher since 2011. So he started working from 2011, but still till now he is working as a teacher. So this is why we use, for example, present perfect. Also, from the uses of past simple, we refer to definite time, that we know this time exactly. I saw, as you see this example, I saw the Eiffel Tower in 2007. In 2007, we have a specific time here. We mentioned a specific time. What about present perfect? We refer to indefinite time. So as example here, I have seen the Eiffel Tower. When? We don't know. The time is not important here. But the past simple, the specific time is important. We want to mention a specific time. Also here, indicates series of finished actions in the past. So first, the example, first he read the book, and then he watched the movie. So خلاص, these actions are done. Express about the present perfect, express experience or result. She has already watched this movie 3 times. When? We don't know. We know the experience only. So this is the difference between past simple and the present perfect. Let me go back here and write the timeline of in which we know where is the past and where is the present perfect. So this is the timeline, and here is the past, here is the present, and here is the future. All right? So the past is here, all till here. This is the past. All right? So it happened and finished, خلاص. But about the present, it started here at the past, but still continues to the present. The result is here still. Like that example, I've worked as a teacher in 2011. He started here, 2011, but he is still working till now. But he didn't use past simple, he used present perfect. So this is to make it clear a little bit, okay? Also, when we want to mention the time in a present perfect, we have 2 signs. For example, with past simple, we have a go as a sign of past simple that this action is happened and done, خلاص. But we have 2 signs here, for and since. We use it when we are using present perfect in order to mention time. And we have a specific rule when we use for and when we use since. I will mention it now, so please focus. So when we use for when we have a period of time and when we have a number plus time word. Okay, we have a duration of time, or also when we have a number and a time word. For example, here, I studied English in Ireland for 2 years. So here, a number and then a time word here. Okay, I will be there for around 2 months. Again, a number and a time word. We have been married for 16 years. So here we have a number and a time word. So that's how we use for. And here are some examples for 10 minutes, for 8 hours, for 5 days, for 6 months, for 3 years, and for 2 centuries. So we have numbers here. If you notice, we have numbers. And here we have time word. What about since? We use since with a starting point or with a time and date. With a time and date. So as we know that we use for and since in the present perfect. So let's see this example. He hasn't eaten since 7 o'clock. So this is a time. It is not a number with a time word. This is a time, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and so on. Also here, I have been working here since June. Since June, this is a starting point. So we use since to form this sentence. We have been here, the third example, we have been married since 2002. And this is a date. So we cannot use for example, here. And as you see the examples here, since with 8 o'clock, since Monday, since February, the name of the month, since 1982, the date, since I left the school, a starting point, since the end of the last century, also a starting point. So here we why or how we use for and since, right? I hope you understood, and then inshallah now we will practice the activity that you have, activity number 5 in your course book. So for example, we have number 1, they have lived in London for or since. What should we choose? And we have 5 years here. If you remember, it says when you have a number plus a time word, we use what? Sorry. We use for. We use, right? For. We cannot use since 5 years, right? Number 2, I have or I visited or have visited the Royal Opera House 2 days since ago. 2 days, it cannot be with at the last sentence. So you will choose ago. And ago is a sign of past symbol or past symbol. So the answer will be I visited the Royal Opera House 2 days ago. The action is done, khalas. Number 3, I haven't downloaded any music for or since last week. We have last week here, a starting point, so it will be since last week. We don't have a number or time word. Number 4, I've had my new MP3 player for or since 2 weeks. I have a number here and a time word, so the answer will be 4. All right. Number 5, I went or have been to a rock concert 3 weeks ago. I have ago here. So what is the indication that you get or you got? So this is about past symbol. I went to a rock concert 3 weeks ago. Number 6, she has been playing the guitar for or since 2005. I have date here. What should I do? Bravo. I will write since 2005. All right. So this is about for and since. Let's go to your workbook now and do this activity. Read the time expressions in the box decide if they refer to a period of time or for, or a specific time, which is since, and write them into the appropriate column. We have 25 June, we have midnight, we have 4 hours, we have 2011, 3 years, 15 minutes, 9 o'clock, 4 weeks, 6 months, and Tuesday. So if you remember the rule now, when we use, so here a period of time means for, and specific time means since. What should we use with for? Let's look. We are looking for a number and time word. We are looking for numbers and looking for a time-ish word. So for example, the first one is done for. We have a number and then a time word. What else? We have 4 hours. What else? You'll get 15 minutes. Okay, 15 number and a time word. What else can you get? 4 weeks. Bravo. 4 is a time, a number, and here a time word. 4 weeks. What else? You will find 6 months. Again, it's a number, and 3 years, also a number here, and a time word. So here are the time that we use with for. And what about since? Since we said that we use it with a specific time, with a starting time, and with date and time, not with number. All right, so we have 5 June is done. We have midnight. Okay, we have 9 o'clock time. We have 2011 date. Here starting a specific time. So midnight will be with since. Also 9 o'clock will be with since. 2011 a date will be with since. And Tuesday specific time will be with since. So this is how you manage and sort or differentiate between what to use with for and what to use with since. I hope it's clear now when you use for and when you use since. All right, let's go to unit number 3, jewel of a ship. And here we are talking about a ship that, an Omani ship called Jewel of Muscat. Jewel of Muscat. It is a replica of a 9th century Arab trading ship. What is the meaning of replica? Copy. It's a copy of the original. The wreck of the original ship was discovered in 1998 by a team of German divers off the coast of Indonesia. They found the wreck there, the pieces, the broken pieces. She had been on her way from China and was carrying a cargo mainly of ceramics. Jewel of Muscat was built, the replica one, Jewel of Muscat was built in Qantab near Muscat, Oman, using entirely authentic materials and tools, the same tools which are used or which were used in the past. So for many countries, from many countries around the world. She took a year to build, and in February 2010 sailed from Muscat to Singapore. From Muscat to Singapore with an international crew of 20 Omanis. Her journey took 5 months, and the crew experienced many adventures and challenges on the way. On arrival in Singapore in July 2010, she was presented as a gift from the government of Oman to the government of Singapore. In October 2011, Jewel was rehoused in a new maritime museum in Sentosa Island, Singapore. Jewel's journey was unique because it recreated the voyages of Arab traders hundreds of years ago and brought to life the challenges and risks these sailors faced. So this is the story of Jewel of Muscat, which was given as a gift to Singapore. So here in activity number 1, it says read the notice below. All right. What kind of film is it advertising? After reading, choose the correct answer in each of the 4 statements under the notice. Note each answer in your exercise book. So, خلاص, if you were focused, you will know the answers that we will get now, inshallah. So, Jewel of Muscat, British Museum, London, present a film about an Omani historic voyage, which called Jewel of Muscat. Saturday, 30 July 2011, and this is the time. A National Geographic documentary in 2 parts about Jewel of Muscat, a replica of 9th century trading ship. Part 1, Arab treasure ship, follows the search of materials from around the world to go into the ship and her construction in Oman using traditional tools and techniques. So this is part 1. Part 2 is about sailing the treasure ship. Recount Jewel's 5-month voyage from Oman to Singapore with only traditional sails to carry her and the challenges faced by the crew. So we have 4 questions here, and you can answer them easily. Jewel of Muscat is a modern sailing ship, or an old sailing ship, or a copy of an old sailing ship? What do you think, huh? It's a copy, bravo, a copy of an old sailing ship. They built it here in 2010. Sorry, I answered this one. The film was shown in 30 July in London, as it says here, in London. So Jewel was built in Singapore, Oman, or different places around the world. Where do you think? In Oman, of course, right? In Qantab, and Qantab in Muscat. So here where the Jewel was built, in Oman. Number 4, Jewel sailed from Singapore to Oman, or from Singapore to Oman and back, or from Oman to Singapore. What do you think? We said it was given as a gift from Oman government to Singapore government. So it sailed from Oman to Singapore. These are the answers. All right. So now we are going to talk about the adjectives ending with ed and with ing. Why? And we use or we add ed to an adjective, and sometimes we add an ing to the same adjective. So it says here we use ed adjectives to talk about feelings. I'm interested in the story of Jewel. I feel eager to find out more. So who had the feelings? The human only, right? So if I got the feeling from anything around me, I will use the adjectives with ed. I will add ed to the adjective that I'm using. When I use ing, we use ing adjectives to talk about a person, thing, or situation that causes those feelings The story of Jewel is very interesting. It makes me want to find out more. So I use ing adjectives when I have a person or a thing or a situation that gives me a feeling. For example, that movie, it is interesting, or that story is interesting. But I am interested in the story. I am interested in the movie. But the movie gave me a feeling which is interesting. Right? Let's talk about it in a very detailed way. He is bored. He is, as you see here, he is bored. Why he is bored? Because the books are boring. The books are boring. So this thing causes a feeling to this one. Causes a feeling. So the one which is causing a feeling, we use ing with it. And with the one who received the feeling, we use ed with it. Right? So ing describe the characteristics or features of a person, a thing, or a situation that causes a feeling. You give a feeling, you cause that feeling. So the books are boring, for example. The story is interesting. The movie is exciting. We are describing a characteristic, a feature of these books. What do these books cause? They make people feel bored. They make people feel bored. So this is the feeling that they gave to the humans. Adjectives end in ed. Why or when we use it? Describe a feeling or an emotion. It's how we feel about something, how we feel. The humans only the ones who feel, right? So when you're talking about someone who got the feeling, you'll say he is bored. This is his feeling right now. This feeling was caused by what? By the books. The books caused this feeling to this person. The books are boring, so he got bored. So here we have some examples. I'm tired right now. My flight was tiring because it was a 12-hour flight. So the flight is tiring. What is the feeling for that person? Tired. He is tired. We adding ed here. So here, for example, your speech was inspiring. I'm now inspired to do great things with my life. The speech is inspiring. This is a thing which gave the person a feeling which is inspired. All right? I hope it's clear. Let's go to your activity in activity number 5 in your course book, and you will choose the correct answer. A, I am or am interested or interesting in the theater. We have a theater here. What do you think? I am interested. Bravo. Why? Because the theater is interesting. The theater is interesting, and it will give me the feeling of being interested. Right? B, I don't find tennis very exciting or exciting. Excited? I don't find tennis very excited, right? Exciting? Bravo, exciting. Why? Because we are talking about thing here. We are talking about tennis, which is not exciting to this person, or for the one who finds it interesting, or exciting, he will be excited. He will be excited. Okay? Let's go to C. He gets confused or confusing by English grammar. So English grammar causes a feeling, which is, what do you think now? He gets, when we are talking about person here, he should be إيش? Confused, bravo. He gets confused because of what? Because of the grammar, English grammar. English, when I want to describe the English grammar, what should I do with it? So English grammar is confusing. It is not confused. English grammar is confusing, but I am confused. So this is the difference between the two things. D, I think shopping is very bored or boring. I think shopping is very bored or boring. So what should I do here? It's boring, bravo, because we are talking about thing. Shopping makes me bored. The shopping makes me bored. So the shopping is boring. All right? E, the journey was long and tired or tiring. We are talking about the journey. And who is in the journey? Of course, some people, right? Or a person. So the journey was long, so it is what? Tiring. It causes them the feeling of being tired. So the answer here is tiring. The journey is tiring. All right. We have some adjectives here in your workbook. Activity number 3. Let's go. So I have inspiring, I have frightening, surprising, frustrating, exhausting, confusing. It's all expressing feelings when you get that situation. For example, number 1, the ship couldn't move for 3 days because there was no wind. What will you get from this situation? What is the feeling that you will get? What will you choose? The answer is frustrating. The answer is frustrating. Okay. Number 2, the story of Jewel has made people eager to learn about Oman's maritime heritage. So this story is what? Inspiring, frightening, surprising, frustrating, exhausting, or confusing. Of course, the positive one, which is inspiring. The story is inspiring, and I am inspired of the story. Number 3, Jewel was caught in a cyclone. She was in danger of capsizing. So this feeling is what? Frightening. The crew will be frightened. ED. ED. The crew had to work without the help of modern technology. What is this? No technology. What is your feeling? Of course, exhausting, tiring. Number 5, some members of the crew had never sailed before. So this is the first experience you'll get. What will your feeling will be? Of course, surprising. So these are the answers of this activity. And let's go directly to activity number 1 and do it together. And after that, we will have a Kahoot quiz, inshallah. So be ready with your mobile phones or laptops. Complete each sentence with an adjective from the books. So we have interesting, frightening, confused, exhausting, frightened, excited, annoyed, exhausted, irritating, confusing, and mostly you know what is the meaning of these adjectives. So my little brother is of dark. The dark is causing a feeling here. What is the feeling? Frightening. The dark is frightening, but the brother here is frightened. The person is frightened. My dad, number 2, my dad was really when the car ran out of petrol. So the dad here got a feeling. What is that? Annoyed. ED. The situation was annoying, so he gets annoyed. Number three, please don't keep interrupting me. It is very what? Irritating. Number 4, I don't understand this map. It's so, I don't understand. It's so confusing. So this map makes me confused. ED. But here the map, when we describe the map, it's confusing. I'm really dash about the Olympics. I've got Olympic fever. So I'm really what? I love, excited about the Olympic Games. So the Olympic Games is what? Exciting. The Olympic Games are exciting. Number 6, I was, after working out for 3 hours in the gym, I was what? After working out, doing sport. Exhausted. I'm tired. I was exhausted. The working out is exhausting. Number 7, can you explain that grammar rule again? I'm a bit, I'm describing myself. What? Confused, right? Not confusing. I'm a bit confused because the grammar is confusing. Number 8, the story of Jewel of Muscat was very, interesting. The story is interesting, and I'm interested in the story. So these are the answers of activity number 4. Let's go to the Kahoot if we have time. The director, do we have time? So be ready. This is the code. I'm waiting for you. Hurry up, please. I'm afraid we cannot continue this activity because we have only 1 minute left. So sorry for the inconvenience. So let's go back to the slide. Thank you very much for your concentration and attention. I hope you understood and enjoyed the lesson. Thank you very much. Take care and bye-bye.